Hello everybody, welcome to another day of Cosmoteer. Today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be looking at a bunch of other ships as well as we're going to do a bunch of shipbuilding as well. So let's come over here and let's open this up. We're going to also come over here, we're going to clear everything out. And then what we're going to do here is let's look at one of the first ships that we have here that was somebody new to our Discord channel. His name is Fertig, and forgive me if I'm pronouncing it wrong. He created this massive ship. This is what he plays during career mode. Now I was looking at this is just the first iteration, first version, and you can see that it's a very big, massive 128 ion ship. Now, I didn't even get to catch it, but I think they were doing this around last night time. But Hosep gave them a whole bunch of different suggestions, and they started to make changes to it. Now, that's just version 1. Version 2, he has another version of it, where they make some slight changes here and there. From what I was catching in the Discord, is having less utilization, less crew to do more with more ions. So this is just another version that he built. It's very, very massive. It's very huge. And then they finally ended up with a version 3 of this ship. They collaborated together and they did it where less, I don't even know all the exact changes that they made, but you can see that it is slightly different here and there. What we're gonna do though is we're going to save the ship design version 3. Let's come over here and let's put this in new ships 4. We'll stuff it in here. And not only do we want to do version 3, we also want to do a version 1 as well. So here's version 1. We'll put version 1 in here. And what we want to do here is we want to pit test it against each other because I have no idea how version 3 pits against version 1. But you can see right here that the cost difference is a little bit different. It does actually look like it's the same crew, but I don't know exactly what was changed. So I kind of want to check it out and see what was changed. Now I see there's this little bit of... No, that's still there too. 07, hello! Hi, Zonskool, hi, Unexcited. Both of you welcome. Does it do less? It's not even all firing, which I'm kind of interested because I'm guessing some of them are not pointed in the right direction. So version 3 might need a little bit of help and work for whatever reason. Are they set to not fire? Okay, so they're set to hold fire right there. Hold on, let's fix it. I don't know everything that they did, but you can see it is a 600,000 massive ship. But what I do know is there a way to like select all of them in one shot? I guess they're all number 2. 128, perfect. Okay, we'll just turn them fire at will for right now. There we go. Now it's firing at will. I really don't know everything they changed. It is a massive ion ship. I think it was the placement of the ion beams. Yeah, you see how the placement of ion beams might be a little tiny bit different? Yeah, they're different. See how they're placed different? Yeah, these little crystals, see how they moved it up and they changed something on it. It was the placement of the ion crystals and they were trying to do the math behind what can do more damage, what can do less damage. Hold on, I'm gonna save it here with the fire at will. And then here, I know it's a almost 7 million ship, but these are all the tests that I like to do on it. How does it hold up against? This is 3 million. these ships would be semi-close to that same cost. 2, 4, 6. There's way more crew though. But how can you handle 4 of these? Or even 3 of them? Now the game's gonna start going all funny and goofy because there definitely are a lot of things moving on the screen. But in theory, with 128 ion beams, you should be able to just wipe the floor with this one. And the next one you should be able to wipe the floor with as well. Especially if they're gonna get gummed up to each other like this. I've never actually put 4 of these versus anything. But you see the huge reverse thrust on this and movement? This really makes it an ion ship that has a ton of movement. It really has a ton of movement. This is how it's supposed to play out. It's supposed to be able to flank, but I love the backward movement on it. I mean, look at this. Massive movement. It's a ship to be proud of, Vertig, if you're watching, or if you watch it later. You know, with this massive behemoth, I'm really interested how it faces versus the other one that Zonskool made. I don't even remember what season or what episode I put that in, but let me go look for it here real quick. Let me go look for it. I don't even remember where Zonskool put it. No, not there. Not there either. It's probably older designs. We've had a lot of new ships come in, and I don't even remember where I put it. No. Or Zonskool, if you can find it faster than me and send it to me on Discord, that'd be cool. Or whoever made, I can't even remember who made it. I thought it was Zonskool. Who made that massive... Here it is. Found it. This monster of a beast. Let's save this one in that folder too. Oh, wait, wait a second. It was new ships 4. How does this face versus this? No, I didn't make it. I got it. Oh, okay, you got it from the Steam store and you wanted to show it off. Okay, so this somebody else made it. So that's good to know. Thank you, Zonstill, for letting us know. Look at this monster versus this monster.
I want to eat it.
Here, let me open it for you. Here you go. Don't make a mess. Put this away. I mean, obviously the cost difference is huge. And you see how this one has a whole bunch of extra... Look at all this. Disruptors, cannons... I don't know if you're watching this, Fatigue, but for 3 million more, yeah, it's definitely unfair. For 3 million more, definitely unfair. But I just wanted it because they look similar in some aspect, but look just how much more. Yeah, much more extra. 3 million more in firepower. It's definitely not fair, but the design, I just wanted to point out the design looks very similar. And instead of putting the extra weight for this right back here, they just have it covered with shields. Obviously the cost more, right? And then they have all these disruptors and all of these cannons. Definitely not a fair fight, but when I saw this ship, I thought of this design right here, and I thought, you know, it looks very similar. I mean, it even has flag cannons on it. Look at that. I don't know. This is a massive, and it still has like tons of maneuverability, tons of everything. So if you're looking at it This is a cool design. I'll make sure it gets posted in Discord. I don't know where you got this from, School, but I would definitely like to give recognition to that person. If you can give me the name of it. What is this? Laser Flagship Recu? Recu? Let me see if I can find it. Recu. We'll give it. We want to give props to the Recu. Maybe if I can get the whole name here. Let's grab the name. Let's see if we can find it in the Steam store. He says he found it a long time ago, so here it is. Okay, right here. Here's the original owner, it looks like. Let's see by Laser, whoever by Laser is, because I didn't mean to showcase somebody else's ship that I didn't know was built of. I just saw it in Discord. So we'll give mad props to Laser Flagship, this one. Oh, looks like he has two. He has a whole nother one. What, 11 million one? Okay, well, you all know where to find it on the Steam store. Let's face it, versus his other massive... I don't mean to showcase somebody else's ship without their full permission, but... since we already showcased it, here it is. Are those nukes? Why are the nukes facing inward? Oh. I see the design. They're literally meant to detach and then fire the nukes off. What an interesting design. Here, I need to show it. I need to show the... Because that was when... My game probably just crashed. Okay, it didn't crash. It's just massive. Okay, look at this. He has nukes facing inward, but I'm pretty certain there's a... Right here. He does explosive charge and detaches this entire section. These two sections detach, and then they fire nukes as two mini ships. So it's literally a huge carrier that then detaches and fires off nukes before it engages. So definitely an interesting upgrade for this huge, massive ship. Anyways, I'm not gonna hit on it too much. This is somebody else's ship. We already showcased it, but I just wanted to... Interesting designs. You know where to get it on the Steam store. I didn't want to go through a full without all their permission and everything, so we'll leave it at that. All right, Fertig, your ship's amazing. It looks cool. I don't even know the amount of time I could spend on to fix that, but Hosep has already given you a bunch of ideas, so thank you, Hosep. Let's move on to this next one. This is paint design by Unexcited. Now, I believe that this ship, and Unexcited, feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, that this is actually Hosep's design, just painted. I love the paint design. It definitely makes it look like a fantasy Korean sword, or whatever you want to think of it. Yeah, okay. So this is Hosep's design, but painted by Unexcited, because just like me and Hosep, we're not big painters. I don't do a lot of painting, but look at this pretty design. That is painted very nicely. I don't even know how long it took you. The Own Faction project. Here's my only suggestion to this. With the red and the black, I love it, but the Imperium takes kind of those same color schemes, right? So if you're gonna really want to do a whole nother faction, maybe you want to think of a different color scheme. But I mean, I love the color scheme that you use with the red and the black. So if we're gonna think of a totally different faction, maybe different colors. I mean, what are Korean colors, right? I think that would be my only suggestion: is look at Korea, and what are the nation's colors? Because I don't even know. Or Hosep maybe can give you two or three color schemes, and put them together, and then you can build a faction painting. But again, painted nicely, beautifully. I mean, literally, even the inside, these just little tiny triangles just give this whole nother effect to it. I love it. Oh, these are his favorite colors? Oh, nice. Well, either way, this is his faction colors and pretty. I like it. I really do. Now, I have other videos showcasing how it works and everything else like that, but this is just showcasing the paint, which is really beautiful. I love it. All right. Let's move on to Zonsko's ship. So Zonsko just put in these ships right here. This was the first thing he asked was, where can we put disruptors on this thing? So let's save this one in this folder too. That's definitely not. I need to rename this. New ships 4, so it's where it's supposed to be. I'm gonna search. Did I just put a 2 in there? There we go. Save it in here, and then let's drag in version 2. And the question was, how to put disruptors in here so you can have extra disruptors. Now, Unexcited and maybe other people, I think it was just Unexcited and me, gave small suggestions. Now, here's the thing about these two ships. I don't want to... Didn't I save it? Did I drag in the wrong one? Oh, that's version 2. Yeah, I need to rename it. Version 2. This one's version 1. There we go. Alright, so version 1, original design, versus version 2, the new design. Cost is almost very similar. Hello, Jaffix. They have the same name. Yeah, I overrode it. Thanks for letting me know. And you can see right here, version 2 has the disruptors. Now the small test that I did, obviously you probably did something better to it, is these disruptors actually make it weaker because you add weak points to it. Or at least from my original tests. But it's probably because I didn't do proper ship crew dedications. Okay, I see what it is, because you dedicate it here, so the rest of them have free reign. But you see with the disruptors, every test that I did versus your original versus disruptors, it lost. And I didn't get to play with it too much, but here, versus swap it. So the disruptors placements right there is probably, it makes it weaker with the current design versus itself. Now obviously if you're firsting something with shields and whatnot, it's great. So the first thing I thought of when I saw this design, we'll just speed this up to see how they do. I just want to see if it wins or not. Oh, that's the first time I saw it win. But you see it sustained heavily damage, it almost lost. But the first ship that I thought of when I saw this, or when you said disruptors to it, was the Goshawk. Or at least the Goshawk that I've modified. This is what I thought of when you said add disruptors. And I thought of, okay, you see how these disruptors are placed sideways? See this? This gives you far more protection and losing far less vulnerability. So when I saw this and you said add disruptors, this is the first thing I thought of. And you see how the shields are layer stacked, and you see how this one is like this and like this. Now obviously we don't have the ion beams in there, instead we have just the cannons. But this was the first thing I thought of when you said, well, how do you add disruptors in the front? So adding them this way is, you can see, you add this huge amount of vulnerability, because if they hit here, it's right to the reactor, and if this reactor goes boom, you basically lose the whole ship because it chain reacts to everything else. Compared to here in the Goshawk, or at least the modified one that I've done, you can see right here, the disruptors are here, and if you lose this disruptor or this disruptor, it's no big deal. They still have to do more damage to get all the way in. Or if you lose this disruptor, it's no big deal. They still have to do damage to get in. So taking this concept right here, you see how they're layer stacked this, but they can still shoot out? If you lose this section of the ship, it's no big deal. You lose this section of the ship, it's no big deal. You lose the middle right here, that's a big deal, right? And it's the same thing right here for your ship. if you lose this disruptor and you lose this power core, this small reactor chain reacts and blows up everything else in the ship. Now obviously they still have to hit through all this, right? But when you're looking at the designs, this is the first thing I think of when you said add disruptors in, and then how do you add this into here? Now if you want to just go ahead and look at the original Ghost Shack, the original Ghost Shack still has the same concept. Just pull that in here. Here's the original Ghost Shack. Now this one's a ramming ship. You see how it's 413.72? The only problem with this one is you got these weak points in the back, right? It has some weak points here, but it's a ramming ship. Notice that it's going to come up to you. It's going to lock in at a point that you're not prepared for. And it's going to lock in where you can't shoot. See right here? And he locks you in. And this is how the Ghost Shack wins. The original is it's a ramming ship, and it will lock you in at an angle you're not prepared for and take you out. See right there? You lose one reactor and your whole ship just goes boom. So again, this ship is really nicely designed. I changed it significantly to be more of a tank, because there already is a tank in the front, but the original Ghost Shack is a ramming 2-cannon ship, as you can see, and it does some pretty devastating damage. Anyways, hopefully that will give you some ideas of where to put disruptors here and maybe change this. My initial test, they went just as bad as, you know, how yours was, because that's originally where I thought to put it. But really, I think taking the Ghost Shack idea and putting disruptors like this and having shields behind it and the reactor well protected will give you a better advantage some way. I don't know where to put it for the ions, but maybe you can find a way to layer stack it and make it a little bit better. That's some ideas for you on school. Alright, now let's move into unstable patch stuff. So unstable patch stuff, what was done here, and we'll pull in one of Silver's ships. I think this is one of the first ships. No, I think this is one of the first ships that he actually put in. So in here, what we have here are what we call these chain guns. Now in order to actually see this is not in the game yet. To get access to this, you come over to the Steam store, you right click the Cosmoteer game, you go to properties. Inside properties right here, you come down here to betas. Under beta participation, you can come over here and you can select unstable bleeding edge updates possible very buggy. So what we're showcasing here is not the current game. We are showcasing a beta that's unstable bleeding edge updates possible very buggy. So whatever you see in here, don't take this as for word, don't take this is how it's going to work. What we're just showcasing here is Hoseup showed us this, and he showed us these chain gun weapons. And these chain guns are basically a new addition that's being added into the game at some point. Now these chain guns work where you add in the chain gun and then you have these magazines that go in. Now I haven't really even played with it. I literally was holding off on showing it because it is an unstable patch, and I don't want anybody to think that this is how the game is, because these will for sure change. The developer is still in process of making them. Now let's just showcase, let me just save this design and let's just put this in here, and we'll put it specifically in a folder, and I'm going to put this in a folder calling this unstable patch build. So I don't want anybody to get the wrong mistaken idea that this is part of the game yet. It's not really part of the game unless obviously you download the beta, just like I showed you how to. Did I just name it wrong? Okay, there it is, Smithy. Alright, so now let's showcase these beta ships, which is the unstable version, and just how powerful they are. Now they're powerful because of the burst damage, and they're also powerful too because you see right here, they're protected until they come out, and then they extend out much farther than where you build them. And their burst damage you see right here, I was asking a bunch of questions that scored, and the question was, can you stop these chain guns bullets with any flat cannons? Can you stop with any point defenses? The answer is no currently. Again, this is beta. I don't know where the developer is going to go with it. But these chain guns have this huge amount of burst damage, and it has brought out a whole bunch of different designs. So here's another design where people were building these chain guns right here. And this is another one of Silver's ships. So we're going to go ahead and save one of Silver's ships here. And he has this annihilator. Now you just have to see just how just how tricky these things are. We'll face it versus each other, but I want to show you versus a regular ship in the 500,000 range and just how much these ships can just tear a lot of things apart. So they take time, right? And they come out and then they just start shooting this huge burst damage. And then they have a long reload time. But you can see it just tears up another ship really quickly, really fast. So the burst damage on this is huge. Let me just showcase this versus a regular ship, right? Because I know we're facing it versus these type of ships. Now let's say, for example, we get a regular ship, original toucan. I'm pretty sure, and I've never tested this, so I don't know. But these chain guns, if used properly, watch the burst damage on this. Well, not... He doesn't have a lot of protection in the front. So that's not a fair assessment. And plus, this is just one of some of the first original designs. I think Silver was saying he was having a little trouble building them. Here's another design. I haven't even tested this one. I have no idea. I haven't tested any of these, really. I come over here. We'll do the unstable patch again. Oh, no. Those are the other ones. This unstable patch here. I was looking at Hosep's one because he literally said he built this grain baking type of design one. Wait, I saved it in here. What's a throttle gun? Now, even from the last time when they started building these chain guns, I didn't even know they could shoot at the angle. Holy molies. They changed the angle. And you see right here, there's this long reload time with the spend time going in. I think you need a little bit more crew for the way this is designed to distribute out here. That, or maybe you lost a lot of crew. But you see the super long load time with what he has. But I love the idea. See how they come out and they get this huge burst damage. Takes out shields, takes out a lot of things. And your ammo is based on, see how this magazine goes in and then it empties out. So it's kind of neat. Very neat, actually. It's going to open up to a whole different type of designs, these chain guns. Honestly, I think of them as mini guns. And you can see right here, it can rip apart another ship with enough defense. So, just the fact they can shoot at this angle is actually pretty neat. That's pretty neat. Alright, let's move on to Hosep ships. Now we'll look at the older designs first. These are some of the first iterations that Hosep built when he first showcased it in our Discord channel. So he just built this little tiny chain gun ship. Again, I've never even looked at these, so I have no idea. But this was one of the first ships he ever built because he was literally telling us, hey, look, the developer made these new chain guns. Which really adds a whole nother layer to the game once they come in. Now, obviously, he's still making changes and designs to it. And it didn't have these angles before. Before, I think it only had like a 20 angle. A 20, so it only could literally fire forward. It couldn't fire at any angles. But now it can fire at angles because the developer changed it. Now, yeah, they are very loud when I zoom in, so I apologize for that. Let's move on to another one. Really, these are like really neat ships. Literally, he just started building and building on the new one. Chain guns are pretty cool, I agree. I haven't even built my own yet. I've been busy playing out. Now this looks like it's just a template, so this is just the innards of it. That's why, and plus there's no real boosters on it, and there's no armor. If you can see how it works, because originally, again, remember these didn't have any angles. These only could shoot forward, but now they can shoot at angles and stuff. And you can see right here the burst damage. Look how much armor it takes out real quick. You see that? Like the burst damage on this is huge, and you can just have so many different ideas with this. So I know that's just a base template, so we're just gonna move on to another one that he had right here. So you need me to help you build this bridge? All right, here, let me help you build this bridge real quick. What did you do? This goes here. This goes here. This goes here. Wait, one more. There you go. Sorry, my kid was asking me to help him with his game. Alright, so... this makes me think of like a Klingon ship. I don't know. I think it's Star Trek and I think of Klingon when I see this one. Let's pull this in. Pew pew machine. Pew pew machine. 1,182,000. You see right here, it has flat cannons, miniguns with huge magazines. Look how big these magazines are. And you see right here, the magazine is how many shots you can fire. You see how I can keep shooting? As long as the magazine still has it, you can still keep going. Now flat cannons, again, you see the flat cannons are not, they don't do anything versus these miniguns. You know what they should add in the game? They should add a cloaking mechanism, and then you could really make a Klingon ship. Or something, right? I don't know. I'm sure that Cosmoteer is still in, the developers still building a whole lot of things, but if you can make like a cloaking thing that takes a ton of energy and has a limited time, and then if you cloak, your disadvantage is all your shields get turned off. So that would be the hugest disadvantage. If you cloak, you can be invisible, but you have no shields on. Kid came over here and wants me to do another one for him. You're funny. There you go. Here. Pretty neat. Pretty neat. I like this chain. I like these chain guns. It gives a whole nother depth to it. All right, let's do his one last older ship here. Again, it's been a while since he posted these, but I wasn't really looking at any chain gun stuff. I was busy playing Albion Online and a bunch of other things and work. So literally, I'm looking at these for the first time. Now, he's already built newer versions of these that are literally very destructive. In EVE Online, you have a cooldown when decloaking. Ah. Never played EVE Online, but I had a lot of friends that played it, so... chain guns really are very interesting. And see right here, he has these point defenses. Again, the point defenses, because these are the tests, they do absolutely nothing versus chain guns. Nothing at all. That won't work. Here you go. Kid's trying to ask me to build another map for him. Yeah, point defenses do nothing. Nothing at all versus chain guns. Okay, this is the last one, okay?
Push that.
Why did you push that?
So it have stars to help you. There's so many stars right there. That's out.
Okay.
How's city 2?
I'm trying to figure out how to build this one. I actually don't know how to build this one. Sorry, kid. I don't know how to do that one.
Oh. No.
Yeah, you push the magic wand. The magic wand doesn't let you build more. Sorry, kid. I'll come help you try it again later, okay? Alright, let's go to his newer versions. So this, I believe this was the one where he said it was a game-breaking like one. And literally when I saw this, I was like, wow, what if you were instead to replace these with chain guns and actually replace it with something else, like lasers or something. But let me just show you how powerful this ship is. 522,000, right? And if I were to take one of my ships, Now, originally the cost was only 300,000. The developer just changed the cost to make it worth more. But this ship can easily just rip apart my 2-cannon ship, and even my 6-cannon ship. Also, I think gets ripped apart by these chain guns, or at least in my original tests. Maybe the developer changed it some more. And you see, he has so these reload times. See these angles it shoots at. The developer could have changed the damage. There's a lot of things that the developer is changing, and so it is the unstable version. So just know that things are constantly changing on these chain guns. So this is not an accurate test. Again, we're in an unstable patch build. But I do remember the one test I did do with this. These 4 chain guns, they originally mopped the floor. This ship right here. When I did test it, whenever I did taste it, if I took my 6-cannon ship, I remember it just literally mopping the floor with mine. Now obviously damage or cost and everything else has changed. Plus AI targeting. Because before, these right here, the chain guns, if you look at them, you see right here, you see how they're behind? So the AI wasn't targeting them even when they pulled themselves out. So I think one of the things that the developer changed is you notice that my 6-cannon ship is now actually targeting, or at least targeted this side and blew them up. Because before, originally, without the AI, my 6-cannon ship would only aim here. It wouldn't even touch. It wouldn't even try to aim at the chain guns. And so the chain guns could literally, when you had 4 of them, could literally rip things apart. Plus, I think they changed the damage. So I don't know everything that's changing, but just know that these chain guns looks like they eventually will make it to the game. I don't know when, but they will. And you see, if you had 4 of them constantly firing with the defenses, these chain guns, before the developer made the change, could rip apart. But that's just something. And then he has right here, he has these box ships. I'm kind of interested. What is this box ship? Oh, what is this? A missile and chain guns? Rebalance them. I bet. Outcry of the community. Probably. The chain guns are probably too powerful in the first iterations. But what is this? A box. I don't even know where I saved all those other ones, but that's okay. Box ship versus box ship. And the chain guns were originally a lot cheaper too. That's kind of neat. It's very different design. I don't know. Has anybody ever seen a ship like this? Because I haven't. This is the first time I'm seeing a ship like this, so very unique design, Josep. A very, very unique design. I'm interested now. He wanted it as a rotating ship. Oh, maybe it does rotate. I don't know. What is that, 559? How does this do versus something like this? Clearly it works. It literally took out this entire side because of the angles and everything else with the missiles coming at you. Look at all these missiles coming in all these different weird. obviously it's to fly around and you get yourself dizzy if you just watch a battle like this all the time. So I'll zoom out a little bit. But that's kind of neat. That's really neat. That's a really, really neat ship. I'm sure in the long run it will eventually win due to armor and missiles, and yeah, it's an orbiting box ship. That's pretty neat. All right, let's do his last one here that I have. Box ship version 3. Oh, I put it in an unstable patch. That's where I put it. There it is. Box version 3. There we go. Less missiles, point defenses. Less armor here, just this little bit of armor there. I think it gave it way more speed. And gave it more versatility. You want me to do this? What is this magic wand for, kid? I have no idea how to build this one. I bet this has to be like this, like this. What? Oh, here you go. I figured it out. What a strange maze. He's right here, he won. Oh. It is a very fun idea. You know what, I like, well, you know, it's not in the game yet, but I love the idea. Alright, let's go into, now that I've showcased all these ships, let's go into a building session where I actually work on what I wanted to work on, which is whole ship ships with this missile. Let's see how this thing does. I need to figure out how to optimize it and make it more than it is. Function more with less. So this is definitely what I wanted to work on and build. I mean, I love the EMP on this thing. I love the armor in the front. And then even though you lose this, the ship's still going. I have a better test. I don't even know I'm doing this one. How does this face versus the design contest, the awful tiers? Now I know awful tiers has this huge advantage for missiles and everything, but this is the real, because this is the real better test. Do more with less. Literally just taking massive damage there. Still going here. Now, Alpha Tier just has way more missile advantage. And it's heavier too. How would you face something like that with something... You literally are 7 million less. Not 700,000 less. How would we change this? Like, even if you put point differences in there, it's not going to change it too much. So we have 2 sections of 4, so that's 8. And this one has... literally has 8 more missile salvos. So what if you extended this and added that in? And had 8 more missile salvos for it? right? What if instead of EMP, you had missile salvos? Well, they were kind of almost duplicating, replicating this other ship in a sense. But here they have these right here. And you have that too? Yeah, you have this, but the power is a little bit on the offset on the outside. So if this was right here, and this was moved out, then they would have constant power for the missiles. It's an interesting idea. You want me to build you another one?
Too many.
Yeah, you're giving me too many. Here. Here, last one. Here you go. Build it. I built you the map. There you go. Just want to see if these missiles constantly fire and if they're powered. I love this missile idea, really I do. So many more missiles. The only thing about this ship is it doesn't have the maneuverability. When I made my maneuverabilities, you come over here, right? And you take this one. I like the maneuverability on this missile ship. Now obviously crew-wise makes it very expensive and then the 1 million. But look at the movement compared to this one. Well, this one should technically be able to flank behind it. The Weir doesn't use engine rooms. Yeah, this one doesn't have any engine rooms in the back. It's just pure weight. And it's just pure armor. It doesn't have much shields except for the very front. But what you're supposed to be able to do with this ship right here is, you see, he won't... I don't like the distance on it. Like, if he was controlling this ship... Here. Restart this again, right? And I'll wipe out these. And then pull up my own ship so I can control it. Right? And then you do this AI battle right here. And you say, okay, I want you to flank behind as best you can. And I also want you to aim specifically at this, if you can. But I want you to go behind. Normally you would control it yourself. But this ship is just so much bigger. So much more armor. So much more armor. You go, kid. Last one. There you go. Ah. Even I don't know how to make another missile ship versus the awful tears off of the very beginning. Like, we could do it with a different type of ship. But the awful tears really is a massive amount of missile ship. But it just doesn't have the same, like, I'm running this team workshop. I really want to build a ship that can do more with less. Like, I know this is box one. What if I'm actually interested with these box ones? 503. How does 3 box ones do versus awful tears? Like, how did he get this? You get the angle so that you always are behind like that. You see where he is? The distance is like there. Unless he purposely made it like a ramming ship. I love the point defenses on the front. I don't know, I wouldn't want to run into 3 of these box ships. Look at this. I don't even have 3 ships that could do the same thing that these 3 box ships just did. And they never get caught in each other, and they literally just... You mean one box versus the awful tiers? Definitely not a fair advantage. But he has point defenses here, and on the side. He still is doing pretty good. Because he has point defenses here, point defenses here. It's got some weird angles on it, and it's gonna lose its engines is what the first thing I thought. And then once it loses its engine, it loses all maneuverability. And then it gets taken out. Because this thing just has so many missiles, but he still took out a whole missile section and did some good damage. I'm pretty sure even two of these box guys actually even stands a chance versus this. Just because the amount of point defenses, look at the point defenses, the missiles, and this. I think they stand a pretty decent chance. I don't know why this one's not flying closer. Like if they both engaged right away, like this one sat there and did nothing. The AI does some really weird things sometimes. But if they both engaged right away, well, you see right here, this one hung up. And it's because of all the different, see how there's a little point defenses, so they covered for each other. So that's why 3 did better than just one. So they have to get close to each other. So this one should move closer. And you see right here, when they're covering for each other with all these point defenses, and if this one were to flank better, because they're still doing good just with 2. And you see this one right here? You get in the right positions, you can take out a whole lot. So 2 can, as long as they're on different sides. You want me to put this here, you want me to put this here. Here you go, kid. Yeah, 2 would eventually win if you speed this up. Look at this. Still has all 4 missiles. Still also has all 4 missiles. And still has both chain guns. Now, the only loss is not firing because there's no more ammo for the chain guns. He completely ran out of ammo. So if you just change these to maybe some more sulfur and factories, but even still, look, 1 million versus the awful tears. Both ships sustain very light damage in comparison, and just mop the floor with awful tears. 1,700,000. I don't have any two ships that can do that. Do what these box ships just did for the same price range, right? 528,000. They look weird, but they can do more. But again, these chain guns are experimental, right? They're part of the unstable patch build. Yeah, the scrap recovers repair costs alone. Totally agree with you. I'm excited. So when these chain guns come out, even though they made the changes to whatever change they made, the pure fact that Hosep came up with this box ship idea, I'm just jaw struck. Honestly, these are pretty interesting ships. And here, face it versus his other ship. He said, right, 522,000 with the 84. How does the box 3 versus this ship handle? Because this ship was really impressive. The large cannons would be huge targets. The AI doesn't target the chain guns, and the chain guns have this huge burst damage. Plus, the other thing about the chain guns is you can't stop them with anything. Point defenses don't work against them, and flat cannons don't work against chain guns. So each one has their advantages. Huge advantage. I can't believe this box ship is still going. Like, if the developer makes it so these point defenses can beat up these chain guns, this box ship really has this huge advantage. And even though, like, maybe you wanted larger sustain, instead of having these chain guns, instead of these chain guns, you change this out to a heavy laser disruptor combo, right? I don't even know if that's correct, but give it that shot. And then you can do this one right here like this. I don't even know if I have the same angle. I think it has to be out one more. If we do something like this, and then you were to move out these. And I know I just messed the whole thing up. But here's the experimental, right? One point one. That's not 1.1. Cost down a little bit. Obviously, I would probably ripped out all the dedications on whatever purpose. Plus the ammo supply, right? These need to be supply battery, supply battery. It's really a lot of rotation. You can definitely cause you to go dizzy by watching it up close. Such an interesting concept. This one just has a lot of shields and everything. So, again, this design's really pretty. Like, you could still do the same thing with like lasers and disruptors, like on this one. That's what I was thinking. But then when I did that before, it was the cost. But if you were to put the laser one back and you put the disruptor there, right? And you put the, not that one, put the laser here and put the disruptor here, right? Now, obviously, I messed up a whole bunch of it. But it's just the base design, right? And then we take out all these. Take out all these. Now, obviously, the supply to ammo to them is going to be hard to get to. So you would get rid of that and get rid of this. Just toss out all of that, actually. And then save the ship design. Now, obviously, it would have to be changed more. 1 point test. Where's that 1 point test? And now we cut down the cost a whole lot, removing all that, everything else. But I just want to see if these are angled right for the lasers. This one's rotating too much. It would still work. And then put cannons in the back. I'm fooling around here. You could technically even put the cannons back here. You can put it back here and you have them facing. Huh. Right? And then you have this factories. I'm gonna move these guys. Those actually should be double bunkers. I know you had it dedicated for something else, so 3 of those would handle all that. That's the same crew there. And then these need to be factories, but then this messes up that part. I have to move the shields and whatnot. But the idea... I know. I want to actually vertically flip those. That. I know it's different angles and whatnot, and then this door would actually go here. And then we needed someplace for the sulfur. I'll see you later, Unexcited. Thanks for dropping by and commenting. What is this? He wants me to do one more of these games for him. This can... Here. All right. And then these... Those are all ammo guys. And then this should be the sulfur. Wait, sulfur? Nope, sulfur. Sulfur. And then these guys should be whatever he did them. I would need to fully change all that too, but the ammo supply. Change this as well, so they have supply ammo there. Go to the factories. Okay, he has theirs already all set. All right. Let me save this real quick. I'm interested. Yep. Oops. That's okay. Test 2 versus this one. Okay, so probably these chain guns definitely do a lot. But I wanted to look at these angles. So we're looking at these angles. Obviously the crew's not placed very well, but I just wanted to see if the overall design could function. Which it can. Now these chain guns are definitely, that's not a fair advantage here. So let's do this right here. Let's do this right here like this. See you, Jaffix. Thanks for stopping by. So, sorry, my kid's over here asking me for a lot of stuff. But one of the nicest things right here, now I know these lasers are not powered, but you see how they're not being destroyed? That's a huge advantage. Now obviously I just need to change the distribution for the power here for these. So these ammo guys right here, I just need dedication that's properly set. I need, what is default set to? I need another team. This is gonna be laser power. We'll just call it laser power. We'll make these yellow right here. I don't know, hiring priority. Oh, I like how they changed that hiring priority. I can say that this was a higher priority 10 because you definitely want that type of crew, right? And then here we can go right click this, we can set all priorities to 0. These guys will be supply battery 10, supply battery 10. Operate those for ones. Yeah, like that. And then laser power can literally be... Those guys are the shield powers. Got some laser power there. I'm actually going to change this and move this back one. We will toss that extra door and this extra door here. Move this door up in here. That's facing this way. We're going to flip you this way. This one's missing a door right there. Okay. Change these to laser power. And I don't have a door here. I know there's an extra door there. Alright, fix this right here. Resave this as tests. 2 still. Oh, I saved it in the wrong place. That's okay. Alright. Laser power. Now I know this is not good. Like, I would prefer to move this all up 1 or 2. Yeah. Sorry, I just need to change this now. So you see these guys right here? We're going to actually let's toss this out first. Let's move this up 1. Let's move this up 1. This up 1. Okay, now we need to add walkways right here. Because this is down and this should be up. And then this should be down. This door should be here. That makes that a little bit quicker. Up and down, up and down, up and down. I know these are down right here. I need to change this right here. And these should be walkways. And this should be this way. Get rid of this door. That's down. And this should be here. Should be walkways here. I don't like that. That's down this way. Down, down. That's a crossway this way. If it's facing this way like this. I don't know. I still don't like that. Because then they have the pack. But this is down, and then it makes it faster this way. I don't know. I'll think about that some more. Save it. Try it again. There's nobody crewing those. I really like the shield placements in the front. See how I still have all the lasers? And this one has no lasers, it's just 2 cannons. So in the long run, this ship should win. And what is the cost on this? It's even cheaper. 518. Like, obviously we can make more improvements and more changes to this. He's got the hyperdrives there, he's got this here. But I love the movement on this thing, and I like how this is super well guarded. And we need to change. I need to change something. But I like these angles and these protections. I like those angles and those protections, I do. And all these shields, like this layer stacking of shields. I want to change some of these dedications because he has this one there. Okay, that's... I would make a shield power 2 and change that. Those are operators. What are these guys dedicated to? Really, that's just really, really nice defense. How's this do versus a 4 cannon? That's down, down. I like this up, down right there. That's nice. I really like that. I like those in and out doors there. Lost the cannon there. I saw how there's like not changed his armor a little bit here. Maybe. This right here could be a little more. And then this right here, instead of the lighter armor, this could be a little bit heavier. Not there. Still blew up all this. We just gotta change crew dedications and a bunch of other things. Because these shield guys should have more than one job. Huh. I like the armor placement and everything. Alright, so this has this tiny little... And this one has, I just want to see how big is this head versus that head. Copy. How big is this thing? What's the armor difference? If we were to move this in right here, how would that affect it? Right? Does it stop the firing over here? I don't know. Just 3. So I like this back right here, and I like all that. Am I forcing it? Yeah, I'm forcing it to fight lasers now. These can still shoot out from there. A little too much armor on the front. So let's move the whole thing. Let's move the whole thing back. Cut. The back one. Alright, we'll reduce some armor there. How does this handle that? Still attacking the lasers. So we gotta remove a little bit of head armor. Let's do it again. Let's chop off some more. Ah. Too many explosion stuff. Okay. Come over here. Let's move some of this. Literally can move it back one more square, actually. Just that design right there. Cut that out. Oh. Undo. Reselect. I want this, and I want this, and this. Cut that out. Ah. Selected it wrong again. I want all this. This section right here. I want this piece and this piece, and I don't want these two. That's why I can move down. Cut that out. And I can move down 1. Right? Yeah, down 1, just right there. And that right there, we can toss this out like this. Save ship design. Let's see how this goes. Okay, now it's a little weak in there. But I definitely moved it back far enough. Probably messed up the head armor, honestly. Armor to ratios, ship ratios. Huge issue when you're fighting with ships to ships. Yeah. His armor is definitely better. So let's go back to it. We'll go back to test 2. He's got all that layer stacking and cross reference and then this huge extra. So this right here. So it's like that, like this. He's got this 2-piece right here. Back to test 3. Yep. Test 3. Made a tiny adjustment to those armor. Still just added a little bit extra protection. I'm gonna change some of that inner armor too. You see, it just added a little bit more protection. And they're still focusing down here. Like, I love how he did the armor to ratio, the space to ratio. It's huge. Your Vec that's winning at the 4 cannon consistently with the armor head. Now, obviously, I need to fix the crew dedications and the power distribution for the lasers, but the base design. Pretty significant. Our operator's also in charge of lasers and stuff. They are. So you need to be operators. You guys need to be supply ammo. Repair. Save. Check these other dedications here. Very interesting. I actually want to change one other dedication. Yep. operators sitting in the back doing nothing. So see right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's change this. Instead of operators, we can have one of them. One of them can be a default. There, all operators are free. I got default role that goes around, does their own thing. I actually want... Let's flip this. These guys should be lasers. These guys should be power distributors. Almost distributors. That way the lasers are closer to where they need to be. Now they run out, and they can supply the lasers really quickly. I'm missing 2 operator. Those guys still dedicated? It didn't save the dedications. Hold on. Why didn't it save those dedications? I wanted you to save there like that. There we go. Did it save the dedications? It did. Now they can still support those other shields as needed. Still missing operators for that. Crew of 2 more operators. Or to change this one, that's a 2, 3. I can add it right here. So instead of 88, we can be a 90 crew and a 90 crew. More testing. I don't even know if we're using. Operators, operators. I just took out my whole right flank. And my left flank. What was that? Changing just one crew there made it. Alright, they're all there. Once those shields go down, they're not getting back up. I have these guys sitting here. I know. I know, we're gonna make them a little bit more responsible. Make you guys dedicated to this as well. See how that works. dedications. You have the dedications back there, dedications here. And they should still be utilized, so they should still run. Down here to do something. Okay, good. They're powering that. Losing that right flank is critical. Critical. He's operating good. The shield does still cover most of it. I mean, maybe I messed up the armor to ratio here. It's probably what I did wrong. I know you had that down there like that. Yeah, if I move it. I don't like that. I mean, we are still winning against the one ship that's almost 200,000 more. I don't need that extra door. I like that, that's there, I like that. Maybe I messed it up. Probably messed it up big time, didn't I? Hold on, I want to rededicate these guys to at least this one too. So there's the front one and also the... They're not supplying that one. Why? Okay. They're not moving. They're not... The shield's still low. Why are you not supplying this one? You know what I mean? Look, there's literally 5 of them in there, and they're not supplying the shield, even though you're dedicated to it. And it's still, see, the shield's still down. Oh, maybe because it cut off. I don't know what I'm thinking. It cut off, most likely. What I wanted to do is this. You know what? That's not good. Just clear it. Yep, clear those. And those guys are dedicated for that. And then these guys can have free reign. That's how it should be. Hi, Camshaft Devil. Welcome. I'm over here fooling around with some Cosmoteer content. Now that these guys are free, they should be able to have free reign to do a lot more. Yeah, see how they're out? This is Cosmoteer. It's a shipbuilding game. It is definitely a fun game. A lot of shipbuilding and a lot of designing and a lot of other things. Now things are going boom. Hold on, let's do this one more test. 521, alright, 90. May have to re-add those dedications. It's a game where you design ships and you can run around and you can gather resources and play in all different types of scenarios. And I'm just testing. I'm building a ship from our community in Discord, and they build a whole bunch of different types of ships, and I was showcasing in the beginning of the video. Does it cost money to buy the game? You buy the game once, and then it's free to play after you bought it once. It's about $20 US on the Steam store. So if you check my description, it exists there. And I have a whole bunch of content and videos like Cosmoteer, so I have a whole running series that I kind of stopped, and I'm going to pick it up again, which is called No Pause Cosmoteer Grand Admiral Engage. And there's a playlist in there that will show you the basics of the game. So if you're really interested, I recommend watching maybe even just a few of the videos, or the first couple videos, if anything. See if that's something you want. It will show you the whole beginning of the game. It will show me playing it on the hardest setting. It will show me playing it with no pause, because you can see right here, I can hit the pause button and you can pause the game, and then you can control what angle your ships are firing at, and you can change the rotation of your ship, and you can do so many different things with pause. But the game, the way I play it, is I play it without any pause, and I play the game where it literally there's always action and things are moving around, and I explain a lot about the beginnings of the game. But yeah, it's about $20 US, $19.99 I believe. But it is definitely a very entertaining game. That's actually what really kicked me off on YouTube is the Cosmoteer content that I created. Is that No Pause Cosmoteer Grand Admiral Engage. That series really kicked off my YouTube channel, and so I'm going back to it because there's been a lot of people building a lot of ships. So I wanted to showcase their ships, and now I'm just working on actually building, or not building, but redesigning someone else's ship, and then changing it to be more of a ship that we can actually play in the game. Now obviously this test right here that I'm fighting right here is I'm fighting two ships with unequal costs. So this ship right here I have is only 521,000 credits, where the ship I'm facing in universe is 728,000 credits. So the cost wise it's not in the same league, 200,000 more. But this ship still sometimes wins because of the design of how the armor is, how the shields are, and the placement of different things. And so I was just trying to optimize crew, because you can see right here, crew dedication, the way your crew moves in your ship. Now I'll pause the game here so you can see it. So each one of these crew it can have different dedications to do different things. And so the way your ship operates is you see these little crew members running around. They run around and they're either loading ammo for the deck cannons on top, which are these cannons right here, or they're running around to supply power to your lasers. So the internals of your ship has to be managed, as well as the external of your ship, how you place your armor, how you place your shields, and then how you're fighting against an enemy ship. So your ship performs based on how many crew you have in it and what your crew actually is doing. You see these red symbols, it means power. There's not enough power to it, so they have to grab power from the power reactor and distribute it out. And you can see right here, when you're fighting ship versus ship, you start losing 6 of your ships. They catch fire, so you need people with fire extinguishers to come put out the fire. If they don't, that part of the ship will explode. And if it explodes, you can take out other parts of your ships as well. So it really is about managing literally the whole crew, internals and externals of your ship, and then fighting it against another ship. And how you design your armor and how you design everything really plays a huge factor in the game. So I'm just fighting against 2 of my ships and just showcasing it. But like when you first start off the game, let me just show you like some of the beginning ships. So if you first start off the game, you'll mostly start off with a starter ship, right? And then the built-in ships, if you have your starter ships right here, these are the 3 baseline starter ships. So when you play the game and you fight against, or the ship that you start off with, you can start off with one of these ships as a base design if you haven't designed any of your own ships. You can see where he has a shield, has these 2 smaller lasers, and a place to store cargo. Now, one of the ships that I designed myself, or modified to be a ship for myself, because I modified it from another ship, is I have a heavy laser, a shield, a smaller laser, and a disruptor. What a disruptor does is it takes out enemy shields, which that's what gives me the huge advantage to take out this other starter ship. So this disruptor right here, this one on the side, I know it's not powered right now, but when it is powered, it can take out shields and steal energy, not steal energy, but to take away the energy from the enemy ship. So when you start the game, you kind of start off with this small little tiny ships, and then you just start building upon it. So when you come over here, you come into the editor and the designer, you can, for example, add more armor to your ship, right? Change it up. You can change the design of how the armor is actually placed. You can add in, for example, different type of bigger weapons, right? When you get to that stack, bigger shields, other type for different projectiles, different type of lasers, ion beams. But there's a lot to this game that you can add, and so it's a lot about building and flying around and enjoying. Now I'm at the point of the game where I just kind of like building and designing ships. So when we just join a Discord, and that's where a lot of other people too are in the game, because I'm sure they've played the game for a while. And so now what I do is I just showcase a lot of different ships that are in Steam, that they put in Steam. For example, these are some of the ships. For example, somebody recently just built this ship, right? Which is this massive behemoth. His name is Furtig. Furtig designed this huge, massive ship, right? And this massive ship has these ion beams that literally rip apart other ships. And this is more of like an endgame ship for sure. And then you have all these boosters and this movement. But the cost for the ship is very expensive in the game when you're using credits and whatnot. And so you can see right here, it's just this massive block of damage. They also have, like, for example, missiles that you can play. So if you want to play with missiles and other things, you can have like one of these box-like ships. And then you can have another design that I designed here, where you have missiles in the back, whole bunch of different boosters. And you can see I have deck cannons on top, have lasers, I have all different type of things on the ship that really causes it to do a lot of massive damage. You see how the missiles are coming out from behind. I have a ton of movement, so I can circle behind, flank other ships. So it's really a game. Now this is the AI controlling it. Normally when you're playing the in-game, because this is just a sandbox for the builder, but this is where you can build and design and make all sorts of different fun things without any cost. Hopefully that answered your question there, Camshaft Devil. what kind of game it is? Like here. Let me over here. Let me quit the game. Let me quit to menu. Yeah, it's a fun game. I do recommend it. So here's an example, right? You do a new game, right? And you can choose between creative or career. So a lot of people that first start off the game, they start off with career. Now, a lot of people in the game, you can see right here, there's many different settings that can people play on. I play on Grand Admiral, which is where I take 40% more damage from all enemies, all weapons, and I deal 30% less damage. Now, that's only if you want pain, right? You can play it on the Admiral, which is 25% more damage, 20% less damage you do, or you can play it on Captain, which is basically the normal setting, right? So if you played it on Captain, and then you can have economic difficulty where there's Builder, Architect, and or Star, right? I like it on Builder so that, you know, it's kind of the baseline, so you at least have enough credits to actually do something. And then I normally play it again on Grand Admiral, and then you have these starter ships, right? Model S, Model C, Model L. Now you can obviously, if you've built your own ship in the ship builder, you can come over here and you can load a custom design. I like to load my own custom design. I have 2 other starter ships here that I can start with. And I load in my custom design, which is this one right here. And so when I start the new game, you start off in the game, and this is the game right here. And the first thing you do is you start off in a solar system, and there's a space station here. So what you do here is you hail the space station. The space station has all these different bounties. Now some people just accept one bounty at a time, but in order to save time, and then once you select a bounty, you come up. I don't even know which button is for the map. I can't remember. I just zoom out. So here's the map right here. So you have a target bounty right here, and you fly into this area and you fight another ship, and then you get the bounty, and then you come back to the space station and turn it in, so you get credits. Your credits allow you to build more ship and everything. But what I like to do is the first thing in the game is I literally accept all the bounties. And I accept the exploration one. These ones are if you want to gather materials or bring it back to the ship. And so now that after you accepted everything, you look at the map and you can see these are all the different bounties that you want to go to. So I take my starter ship right here. I only have 900 credits, so I can't build anything. And I fly to the very first solar system. Now again, I do already have a video about this Camshaft Devil. So if you watch my No Pause Cosmoteer Grand Admiral Engage, there's a whole playlist starting from episode 1 where I literally play the game all the way up to like episode 35. Again, I need to make more. And I literally, the whole step of the way, I show you when I play the game this way. Now again, remember I said you can pause the game. So you see I can pause the game. I play No Pause Cosmoteer Grand Admiral Engage. So I play it on the hardest setting. And I don't pause the game during any combat. So literally when I fight another ship, so right here, when I fight this other ship right here, I'm going to engage this other ship. I'm going to select, we'll hit the T key, we're going to rotate behind him. We're going to target his command deck right here like that. And you want to take out that command deck right there. Now obviously you don't like the flanking because you can see right here there's too much flying going around, so I'm actually going to hit the H key and then just target this. Because that's all I really need to do. And then once you take out their command deck, see the ship is gone now. And then what you do here is you can repair your ship. Obviously I sustained a ton of damage because I was doing something silly. But you can also salvage other ships. And or you can take over other ships. So I hit the G key and or I hit this button right here. Now the hotkey is G. If I hit this, and then I can salvage this other ship and start taking it apart. So what happens here is in the inside, you see right here, my crew gets out of the ship and comes here and starts ripping this other ship apart for supplies and materials. Now in order to repair your other ship, you need supplies and materials to repair different sections of your ship. So for example, if I wanted to repair these lasers, I could just repair this one, or I can hit repair all once I have enough repair materials. So I do now. So when I hit repair all, the developer has designed it so you literally have to grab these materials. So my crew members are queued up to grab materials. They're going to grab the materials, see right here. They drag it back to your ship, and then they repair your ship. So it actually takes time to repair your ship and gather materials from other ships to repair it. So you kind of want your ships to sustain the least amount of damage, but do the most amount of damage. So yeah, it's a very cool game. That's why I'm playing it. But the beginning of this episode was literally to showcase other people's builds, other people's ships. And then once you salvage enough and you repair your ship, you can fly back to the space station and turn in your bounty. Okay? So over here you have all these the different quests, and then you could take your quest and you could turn it in. You get 4,000 credits for this quest. You increase your fame. Your fame allows you to hire more crew members to your ship so you can build bigger ships. And you just go around the system, each different solar system, and you check it out and do it that way. Now I don't remember the button. Here it is. Okay. So you start off right here. This is literally telling you the level 1 through 3. Once you clear out this area, or maybe you can leave early, you can fly out to other different solar systems. Each one of these regions, this blue and this red and this yellow, stand for a different faction. Each one of the factions have very unique and distinct different type of ships, making it harder or however you want to play the game. And you can see right here, there's different levels as you go to each solar system. So this would be from level 1 to 3. This is level 4 to 6. And if I jumped right here, I would instantly get wiped out because this is level 16 to 18. Basically, the end game is level 18. So I wouldn't want to fly here and then fly right to here because this is, you wouldn't have enough credits or a high enough ship to be able to handle level 16, 18, different type of things. So you have to also play it around and decide where you want to fly, where you want to get. And so normally if it's 1 to 3, I'd probably either go to 2 to 4 or 4 to 6 and then move from there. And then there's obviously a whole bunch of different things, like you can gather asteroids, you can gather materials. There really are a lot of things that you can do in this game. And then over here you see you have a storage system here. So you store different type of materials, and each material does something very different for crafting on your ship and building your ship. Make sense? I'm going to hit the H key right here, or you can go over here, the hotkey. So you see right here, recall crew. I hit the hotkey, which is the H key, or you hit this button, and you recall all your crew members who are outside your ship back in. Because you can fly away when your ship's out here doing stuff. And you don't want to lose any. You can see right here, I still have 1 crew member outside the ship. You still want to wait for this 1 crew member to be in there, because you can fly away and your crew member can lose oxygen, and then you have 1 less crew, right? So right here I have a crew of 8 of 8. So if you lose crew members, your ship doesn't function as well, because you don't have people literally running around supplying power or be able to crew your lasers or crew your cockpit. You need your crew there to do a lot of different things. So right here, when I fly back all the way here to the space station, I'll turn it in. The first thing that you probably want to do to your starter ship, and again, I already have a video on this explaining a lot of the beginnings, but because you're here and you asked and you're watching, you can hail this ship, right? You come over here, you turn in your quest, you get the 4,000 credits. With those 4,000 credits, I come over here and I'm going to edit my ship. And the first thing I want to do here is I'm going to move this down. And let me leave that there. We're going to move this down 1. We're going to move this down 1. And move this down 1. I'm going to move it all down, actually. And I want to put in a bigger crew. So the bigger crew that I'm going to put in here is I'm going to put in this, which increases my crew from 8 to 12. So I make the change, right? And in order for them to make the change, they have to come over here. They have to rip this ship apart and rebuild it. So you see right here, my own crew members are coming in, and people from the space station are coming in to help rip apart the ship, replace the materials, and rebuild your ship in full. So it takes time, because the enemy pilot ship or some other ships can come in, and this is also a multiplayer game too. So you can play career mode with other people. I really enjoy this game in a whole nother different type of aspect. And then once right here I have a bigger crew section, I can hail the space station again. I can hire 8 crew, so I hire 4 more crew members. And now I have more crew members to do much more with my ship. And my ship gets bigger, and I do more things with it. In fact, here, I'm actually going to add one more thing. I add a corridor right here. And this way they can go in and out a lot easier and a lot quicker. and then you just build your ship and increase it. And so you see right here, they bring the piece, they built the corridor. I need another piece of steel, so another person will come out here and allow it to build. It cost me credits to do that. And now that that's built, you see right here, my ship's bigger, a little bit bigger, and a little bit better because now I have more crew to do more things, such as power my lasers. And then you fly out here and you do more quests and come back and get more credits. And that's how the game works. So, thank you for watching. I am going to edit here. I have to go cook food for my family. So if you enjoyed this content, please feel free to smash the like button. It helps me out, helps get out the word to other people, get to see all the different type of content I build. If you would like, please feel free to leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you like. Let me know what you don't like. If you have not already, please feel free to subscribe. If you have not subscribed, that's okay as well. Come back once a week, once a month. Check out what content I have, and or come back daily because I am streaming daily. I do plan to do another different type of maybe game today, a different stream. And but this is the game that I have right here. And thank you all again for being here. One last thing to show you here, Camshaft Devil, is you can push G if you're still here, and you can harvest materials from asteroids and then convert those materials, raw materials, into other things. And build them with factories and stuff. So the game really has a lot of aspects for people that like to build, farm, and a space type world. But again, thank you all for being here, and you all have a wonderful rest of your day.